अगर आप अपने पब्लिक स्पीकिंग के डर को दूर करना चाहते हैं, इफ़ यू वांट टू गेट रिड ऑफ योर फियर ऑफ पब्लिक स्पीकिंग एंड बिकम एन इफेक्टिव स्पीकर, और एक अच्छा स्पीकर बनना चाहते हैं, एक अच्छे वक्ता बनना चाहते हैं, देन डू वॉच दिस वीडियो टिल द एंड। इस वीडियो में आई प्रेजेंट टू यू द 5-step मेथड दैट आई हैव यूज्ड इन माई लाइफ टू नॉट ओनली ओवरकम द फियर ऑफ पब्लिक स्पीकिंग दैट आई ऑलवेज हैड, but also to become a professional speaker, a TEDx speaker and a trainer, coach and a mentor। तो अगर आप ये सब बेनिफिट्स चाहते हैं, इस वीडियो को अंत तक ज़रूर देखिए। दिस कुड probably be amongst one of the most important videos that you can watch on improving your public speaking skills and आपके public speaking के डर को दूर करने में ये वीडियो आपकी मदद करेगा। I'm sure you'll enjoy this video। Hi there, hope you're safe and are having a wonderful time। My name is Gaurav Gupta. I'm a best-selling author, an international motivational speaker, and a business coach। It's my mission to impact 100,000 people through my work in 2021. And as a part of that mission, I keep bringing for you new, engaging, interesting learning that helps you improve your life। Today, in this video, I share with you the 5-step method that I used in my life to overcome my fear of public speaking। जी हाँ, इस वीडियो में मैं आपके साथ शेयर करने जा रहा हूँ वो 5-step मेथड जिसको मैंने यूज़ किया अपनी लाइफ में अपने पब्लिक स्पीकिंग के डर को दूर करने के लिए, टू बिकम अ प्रोफेशनल स्पीकर, एक TEDx स्पीकर बनने के लिए, एंड टू बिकम एन इंटरनेशनल मोटिवेशनल ट्रेनर, अ कोच एंड अ मेंटोर। इन दिस वीडियो टुडे, आज इस वीडियो में मैं आपके साथ शेयर करूँगा मेरी मास्टर क्लास स्पीक टू सक्सेस के कुछ हिस्से, सम एक्सर्प्ट्स फ्रॉम माई मास्टर क्लास स्पीक टू सक्सेस that will help you understand what is the fear of public speaking, why are we afraid of public speaking so much, how can we overcome the fear of public speaking, what do effective speakers have as secrets to their effectiveness, and आप एक अच्छे स्पीकर कैसे बन सकते हैं, उसके लिए एक 5-step मेथड मैं आपसे शेयर करने जा रहा हूँ। आई एम श्योर यू विल लाइक दिस वीडियो and you'll find it very useful। Do let me know in the comments below after you watch this video, how did you like it, and if you like this video, do share it in your networks with your friends and family। I'm sure you will like and enjoy this video. Here it is। So welcome to the masterclass on public speaking and cracking the TEDx code। See, public speaking is all about the art of telling stories. And this entire session, I'll try to keep it interactive and I'll try to keep it as interesting with the help of stories। The first story I have for you is a beautiful story I heard a long ago। This was a story about a Zen master। An English professor once was in this province, and he wanted to know how intelligent are the Zen masters truly. So in order to test the Zen master, he went to the Zen master, and as he entered the Zen master's hut, the Zen master asked him, "Will you have tea?" They both sat across the table, and the Zen master started pouring tea. Now the Englishman was looking, the cup was completely full, and the Zen master did not stop. He kept pouring until the tea started spilling on the table and then on the Englishman, the English professor. The professor got angry. He said, "What are you doing, Zen master? Can't you see the cup is already full? There's no space to put more tea in that." Zen master simply smiled. You know why? Zen master smiled because he understood that the English professor has come to test him. And you know what Zen master told this professor? He said, "Yes, I can see that the cup is full, but you cannot see. It's only when your cup is empty will I be able to pour some more tea. It's only when you unlearn what you know already will I be able to teach you something new." See, the number one key takeaway I want you to take from this workshop, in fact, this is the third one now. The third key takeaway is there is nothing called born speakers. If somebody is an eloquent, mesmerizing speaker, you can learn to speak. But there's a secret, which is called the world's best kept secret of successful speaking. Trisha says practice is the key. Yes, practice is the key, Trisha. But the best kept secret is something which I'll give you today. Okay, the secret is this, LORLTPG. Now anybody, or maybe all of you, just attempt, let me know what is the meaning of LORLTPG. Effective speakers are, number one, good listeners. They listen, they observe everybody and they listen and they grasp. See, there are only limited ways in which you can gather information or experience. And it's only when you have experience, knowledge, and that skill set that you can effectively speak with other people. Because in speaking, content is the king, but context is the god. And you'll get context and content only when you can follow this. Listen, observe. All good speakers are good observers. They observe people, they observe things around them, they observe events. They're good readers.
They read a lot. Most of them, not all, most of them. And they are thinkers. They think. As I said, context and content both are important, so they think thoroughly and clearly. They are learners. They learn from other people, their experiences. And yes, as earlier was said, practice is the key. They practice. And the most important one is they're givers. Their focus is not on getting. They're givers. They want to improve other people's lives. They want to share their knowledge. They want to help people grow. They are total givers. They give. If you can learn to adopt this attitude of LORLTPG, you too can become an effective speaker. In fact, this is the first must. If you want to be effective in public speaking, do all this, and then there will be no dearth of your content or context. You'll automatically be able to understand the context and create your content or shape your content according to the context. Because effective public speaking is all about contextual content delivered effectively. Glossophobia is the number one fear on the planet. In fact, it is rated higher than the fear of death itself. But why? Why do you think people fear being on stage so much? Why? Essentially, one thing which is very important for all of us to understand is, why do we fear rejection? Because human beings are social animals. We are social beings. We want to belong. We want to be with people. And society has conditioned us so much that we constantly get into that pressure that we have to be liked by people. Now, I'll give you an example. Some of you before the lockdown who've been on vacations, very few of you would have been the ones who've really enjoyed your vacations. You go to the vacation with that mobile or the camera, and you keep clicking because you have to post. Why? Because you want to show to other people, I'm cool, I'm having fun, I'm different, I've been to this place. It's all a part of you wanting to belong to that group, you wanting appreciation from that group. That's the fundamental conditioning which we are in. And that's the reason when we know that when we'll go on the stage and people will judge us, that's the reason we all fear public speaking so much. Now, let me tell you what kept me from public speaking and what made public speaking so fearful for me. So again, I have a big acronym here, SFC, AWEPAN, SQCH. Want to take a guess? What does this stand for? Each one is a separate fear of mine, which stopped me from public speaking for long years. Take a guess. I was always a very shy person. Even though I was from a convent background, my English was most pathetic. I could not even complete one complete sentence in English correctly with grammar and with pronunciation. That was my English. I was very, very shy and introverted. I never would speak. And there were a lot of opportunities given to me in my life where I had to speak, and I plainly rejected those. I just used to keep sitting and thinking that people are born speakers. I do not have it in me and I'll not be able to speak. During my college times, my friends and one of my mentor, they all conspired together and they got me in a situation where there was no choice, but I had to deliver a speech. I practiced that speech for, I would say, at least 10 to 20 times, and they finally put me on the stage. And that day, when I went on the stage for the first time, and honest to God, everything was blank in front of me. Everything was blank because all of this together was acting on my subconscious. Let me first give you this. What does it mean so that your curiosity is taken care of? Stage fright. I had stage fright. Forgetting things. You asked me, I forgot that complete speech that day. 20 times practice speech. I looked at the audience and I forgot that speech. Content. I never knew how I will organize my content. This content was also prepared by somebody. Audience. That was the biggest fear. There were 200 people, 400 eyes looking at me. A constant fear of rejection, judgment was going in my mind. Who will listen to me and why will they listen to me? That was the question in my mind. My English, as I told you, already was not good. I was not persuasive, forget assertiveness. I was nervous like hell. In fact, that day for the first time, I could not feel my knees. It was like there's nothing below. There's nothing. Where am I standing? I did not know that. Shyness, I told you I was introvert. Question and answers, that was the biggest one. How will I address question and answers? That was the biggest one. And you know, the biggest one, because all this is okay, you can still manage. Question and answers, you do not know what question they will ask, how will you answer? Confidence was zero, and my sense of humor was absolutely zero. All this together was acting on me, And that day, I did not speak even a word on the stage. I just came down from the stage. And that day, I had two options. Option one was I either forget about public speaking altogether, this is not for me, I will not do it. Or option two was I picked this as a challenge. And that's what I did. And before I go further, I'll tell you one more thing, one more myth people have is that effective English is effective communication. Nothing could be farther from truth, guys. If you have this myth in your mind, just throw it away. In fact, there are orators, and you know some orators in your life, if you've seen them, you've heard them, they are mesmerizing orators, and they do not speak even a single word of English. So effective English has nothing to do with effective communication. Effective communication has nothing to do with English. You can be a mesmerizing speaker. A few examples I can give you of people who, when they speak in Hindi or in their native language, they just control the complete crowd and people are just listening to them. So the important thing here is, the key takeaway number two, guys, is the secret is ability to structure your content and convey your message effectively. If you can do this, it doesn't matter what language you speak. It doesn't matter what you want to say, where you come from, nothing matters. If you have the ability to structure your content and convey your message effectively, and by effectively, I mean to say what you want to convey is understood by the other person as you want the person to understand. And always remember, in communication and speaking, the onus is on you. If the audience or if the other person is not able to understand your communication the way you want him or her to understand, then you're not effective. This is how public speaking looked to me. That day, when I came down from the stage, this is how public speaking looked to me. And I am scared of heights. That's one of the fears which I've conquered over the years now, but I was that time very scared of heights. So something which looks like Mount Everest to you, especially when you're scared of heights, how do you conquer that? That was my question. So either I give up everything about public speaking, or I just pick that up as a challenge that I'll climb this Mount Everest one day. And interestingly, I heard Edmund Hillary's story. Edmund Hillary, when he climbed Mount Everest, he was unsuccessful in the first two attempts. And one of my mentors told me this when I told him that, okay, I want to climb the Mount Everest of public speaking. This is the motivation I got from him. I think it's good for you also to understand. Edmund Hillary failed in the first two attempts. After the second attempt, when he was going defeated, he could not climb Mount Everest. The expedition came back just little away from the peak, and they came back. Edmund Hillary that day looked at Mount Everest and said, Mount Everest, you have a limitation which I do not have. You cannot go beyond 8,800 meters, but I can go even beyond. That belief, him itself, pushed Edmund Hillary to, in the third attempt, conquer Mount Everest. This story motivated me that something which looks insurmountable or unsurmountable to you has weaknesses. It's up to you whether you will take that challenge and work on your weaknesses to conquer that mountain. That's what I did. Here are the 5 steps to climb the Mount Everest of public speaking. And these are the 5 steps which I used in my life. These are the 5 steps which helped me not only turn around my fear, just get out of the fear, also take up a profession as a trainer, coach, and become a professional public speaker and reach the TEDx stage. The first one, and the most important one, find your passion. Why? Why is it that you want to be a public speaker? And what is it that really excites you so much that you jump out of the bed every day to pursue that? Find your passion. In order to be an effective speaker, you have to connect with your core. Who are you? What are you passionate about? And if you can connect with that, it will automatically make you a successful speaker, a successful coach, a successful trainer, or a successful whoever. Finding your passion is the base of it, or I would say the linchpin, or the groundstone, or the bedrock of it. In my case, my passion was always people. I was a people's person, though I was shy. I was a people's person. I wanted to help people, but not from the stage. I wanted to help others and reach out to more people. But again, people not judging me, they're not looking at me with those I was fearful of rejection. So that was what My passion was people. And my reason was that today, on that day, I failed in my own eyes. I had gone to a stage with a prepared speech. I could not deliver it. I have to be true to myself. And I kept myself on a higher pedestal. And that's what fueled my passion. So the first thing is identify your passion. The second thing is reality check or gap analysis. You have to do a reality check. Where you are right now, where you want to be. I was at ground zero. I wanted to be at the top of Mount Everest. Till you do not do that gap analysis, you cannot create a strategy for yourself. Only that gap analysis would really help you understand what steps you need to take. The third one, which I did, was skill building, getting a mentor. It's very, very important to train yourself, but get trained from the right person or the right mentor. There are thousands of people who were there at that time also available to teach public speaking. But you have to get to the right mentor, somebody who has done that, been there, and somebody who can handhold you, guide you, and make your journey shorter, not longer. The next one is 3 Ps. So it is planning. The first one is planning. You have to plan. You have to plan your journey. Whatever skill you want to build, you have to plan that. It could be any skill. You have to plan that. Second, preparation. Planning is one. You can have a wonderful plan, but if you do not prepare to make that plan a reality, nothing can happen for you. And the third and the most important one, before I tell you that, I'll let you know. Once a mesmerizing speaker was on the stage and he delivered a wonderful speech. Somebody approached him. He said, "Sir, I want to be a speaker like you. How can I be a speaker like you?" You know, his answer was, "It's a 3-step process, my dear friend." He said, "Sir, what is the 3-step process? I want to know because I'm committed to that process." He said, "The step number 1 is..." He said, "Okay, sir, I got it. Step number 2 and step number 3, practice. Only practice will lead you to your destination, but not just practice. If you practice wrong, it will be imperfect. You have to have the right mentor, the right plan, the right preparation, and then you practice in the correct fashion, the correct techniques of public speaking. You will be a wonderful speaker." Yes, Bhavesh, practice, practice, practice. And finally, friends, the most important one is break the comfort zone. Break the comfort zone. Take the opportunities. Once you do all this, there will be opportunities thrown your way. You know, Dale Carnegie, the father or the pioneer of modern day public speaking, he had a famous quotation. He said, "Whip me, but do not take me to the stage. But once I'm on the stage, whip me, but do not take me off the stage." You see, the public speaking itself is such a big thing. People are fearful. That's why they don't want to go to the stage. But once you're on the stage, this is such a passionate thing. It will engulf you so much that you will enjoy that experience, because the limelight, you're in the limelight, you get the rewards, you get the fame, you get the monetary benefits. You can never come out of that glamour, but you have to break out of your comfort zone, because those opportunities look very scary. They are dressed as fearful opportunities. All opportunities are dressed very fearfully, but if you take those opportunities, nothing can stop. Now, the most important one, that's the third key takeaway. Mesmerizing speakers have a gift, or they are gifted at CBV. So this is where the actual delivery of your speech or your stage presence or your content thing comes. CBV is an acronym which stands for content, body language, and vocal variety. These are the 3 ways, or the combination of this is what helps you deliver your message to other people. Mesmerizing speakers have a gift, or they are gifted at CBV. They're gifted at creating great content. They're gifted at great body language, which is natural for them. And they have a wonderful vocal variety where they can do tonality, intonations. They can make their voice louder. They can make their voice slower. They can play with pitch. They can play with a lot of other things. This is a big myth. You know why? Why is this a big myth? Yes, Bhavesh, you can learn all this. The secret is 3P. Planning, preparation, and practice, practice, practice. So guys, the third, or I would say rather fifth key takeaway you should have is that there is nothing called a born speaker. There's nothing called you have to be effective. For effective communication, you have to be good in English. There's nothing called somebody gifted with content, body language, and vocal variety. All of this can be learned, and you can see me as an example. As I'm telling you, I was totally shy. I was in my shell, but I could come out and make public speaking my profession. So anybody can do that. It's just about practice, practice, practice. So content, Bhavesh, is very, very context oriented. Whenever you are creating content, I'll not be able to go into the depths. I'll give you a broad overview. Whenever you're creating the content, you have to understand what is it that you're wanting to speak about, where is it that you're speaking, who's your audience, what kind of message you want to deliver to them, what is the call to action that you want them for them. Is it just information sharing, knowledge sharing, or you want them to do something or take some proactive action? So content is all dependent on all of these variables, but essentially you have to keep your audience in mind. If you know who your audience is and what they want, then your content would be much more effective. The dream. So what's your dream in public speaking? Each one of you, what's your dream? So the dream is to reach TEDx. TEDx, this is the dream, the red carpet. The circular red carpet is the dream which we all have. Without any further suspense, there are two pillars on which you reaching TEDx stands. One is your skill set. Second is the strategy. Skill set, to some extent, we already talked about, but still I will let you know about skill set. And the strategy is the key.
I hope you enjoyed this video. उम्मीद करता हूँ कि आपको ये वीडियो बहुत पसंद आया. If you like this video and found value in this, do share it with your friends, family and networks. If you too have a dream to become a TEDx speaker, do write to me and my team and we'll guide you on the masterclasses that we have and how we can partner with you to take you to your dream of TEDx stage. अगर आप TEDx stage तक पहुंचना चाहते हैं और आपको नहीं मालूम कि कैसे करना है, मुझे ईमेल कीजिए, मेरी टीम को ईमेल कीजिए. We will be able to help you, guide you that how we can partner with you. This 5-step method that I shared with you in this video today is amongst one of the most effective methods for bringing in any change, not just about public speaking, any area of life you want to improve. Just use this 5-step method and you will be able to get some wonderful results. So अगर आप अपनी communication को improve करना चाहते हैं, अपनी public speaking ability को improve करना चाहते हैं और एक बेहतर speaker, एक बेहतर इंसान बनना चाहते हैं, इस 5-step method को ज़रूर practice कीजिएगा. And do let me know in the comments below, how did you like the video? What else will you want me to bring for you? What is it that I can do differently to help you improve your public speaking skills? And don't forget to stay connected. If you've not subscribed to my channel so far, do it now. I look forward to see you. You stay safe. Have a wonderful time. Enjoy your life and practice being a master communicator. I'll see you around. Thank you.